What's up, everybody? This is Alex from Heavy New York. This is our last interview at the Brooklyn Bazaar before it sadly leaves us, but we're ending things on a great note. We are here with Luca of Necrot. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's so awesome to have you here, especially after when I was interviewing Chad and you walked in on the interview and photobombed us.
So is this your last interview of your life?
No, this is the last interview at Brooklyn Bazaar.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's so awesome.
So you were finally going to leave us alone.
Yeah, never.
Not going to happen.
That was a good one. But, it's been 2 years now since Blood Offerings, your latest record. Can we be expecting some new Necrot soon? Let's just get that out of the way.
Yes, the new Necrot album is fully written, and we're going to go record it as soon as we get back from this tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we get back December 8th, and we're going into the studio on January 20th.
Awesome.
Yes, we have been, we wrote it, and then we didn't have time to record it because we keep getting offered really cool tours, and we wanted to do it because we want to, come play shows. We like it, we enjoy it, but we found the time to write it, and it's ready. We just gotta go record it and bust it out.
Yeah. Watch, you're gonna get offered a Metallica tour right when you're supposed to record it or something like that.
Hopefully not. But yes, we're gonna put it out with 10 Crimes, and it's gonna come out in June next year.
Awesome. What I was curious about is because with the new music that you're going to write, are you going to make a direct continuation of Blood Offerings, or are you going to do something completely different that Necrot fans may not expect?
No, it is kind of like a continuation on Blood Offerings. It's it's got some elements that are a little different, how it's supposed to be, I guess, but it's still our sound. Is I think everybody who liked Blood Offering is going to like this one too.
Awesome. Do you with the main? Because I've always thought that Blood Offerings was consistently brutal. I feel like it pulled no punches, and I feel like people who liked one song could have appreciated every other song on the record. So, is there a formula that applies to every song that you make, or do you take a new approach to every song?
Well, usually when I start writing the songs for an album, is the first few songs are really easy to write out because I'll just come up with whatever I'm feeling. It'll be a very direct, easy, honest approach. You know what I mean? It's boom. I want to write a fast song, or these riffs are coming out. It's I'm using these songs and writing 2, 3 songs, 4 songs. Then I get to a point when I'm writing the album, then I get a little bit more what does the album needs at this point? Because I like to have a variegation. I don't know if you know this. In Blood Offerings is is a Necrot sound through the whole record. But songs are different. Some songs are a little more similar to each other, but overall there's a little slower song or something that's got a little bit more of a moment for the music to play out. So it's when I get to a certain point of the album, I'm okay, what do I need? Where do I want this to go? What direction do I want it to go? I put a lot of thought into it, maybe too much. But I like the album to be enjoyable from the beginning to the end. I don't want to just write a bunch of songs, even if they're all really cool. I don't want to just throw together, I got 8 songs, boom, and put them all together in the mix. You know what I mean? I like to have I like to think about it. I want to have a stronger start. I want to have a moment in the album when there is more maybe guitar stuff that people can appreciate listening to it. I want to have a moment in the album eventually where you can slow down a little bit instead of being punching all the time. You know what I mean? Just to make the dynamic of the album look at the album like a whole big song, kind of, instead of just throwing a bunch of songs together.
That's a great way of putting it. In terms of lyrics, is there ever a time where do you need music in order to come up with lyrics, or can there be a concept in mind that maybe helps determine the music itself?
Look, this is usually what I do is I usually write down stuff all the time. When I think about something that I think is cool, or sometimes I'll hear a phrase, someone saying it, or you know what I mean? It's or I'll be watching a movie and I get inspired by something or whatnot. So I write down tons of shit, and then I get to the moment that I have to write the lyrics for the album, because usually I write all the songs without lyrics. I write all the music, then we arrange it together with the band, we get the songs all done, and then I write all the lyrics. But I'll have all these notes that I've collected through the couple of years, you know what I mean? And then usually it's when I really get down to write the songs, I write all new stuff, and usually I don't even look at the notes. And then once in a while I'll go back and be what the fuck am I writing all this shit if then I'm not even looking at it? But then sometimes I go back and look at it and I'll find a phrase or something that is oh, this will work well in this specific song or not.
Yeah.
And then usually I get to like, I write 90% of the lyrics usually. And then there is always like a few little things that like I'm kind of indecisive until the very last minute.
Okay. When it comes to like getting inspired, you say you're writing all the time. Does like so it's fair to say inspiration comes out of nowhere. It's not like you have to put yourself in a certain like it's not like you have to look for inspiration in a way, right?
I mean, it's more like, yeah. I mean, inspiration you get it from every day. You know what I mean? It's like you can get it from watching the news or like something that happened to a friend of yours, something that happened to you directly. You know, from just life, society is like, you know, but like when it comes down to placing the content, the lyrics into the song, then there is a little bit of like slightly mechanical part to it because it's like you need to find vocal patterns. You know, even if you have a really long lyrics, eventually you don't need all of them. So then you have to eventually have to get the concept out using less stuff. You know, you're not writing a book. You're writing lyrics to a song.
Do you like to leave the lyrics open to interpretation, or do you try to engage the listener into?
No, I like to leave it open a little bit to interpretation. I think that's what's beautiful of music is that it's like the listener can own it. You know, you can make it yours. You can make a song yours. It's like, you know, a song that tells you like, you know, like Empty Hand left me with empty hands. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, I can write that thinking about something specific. You're gonna relate it to something in your life. Eventually, something really far from what I was thinking. You know what I mean? I think that's what's beautiful about music. That is like, you know, nobody owns it.
Of course.
It's like you write it, but everybody makes it his own. Also, because I remember like even when I was younger and I didn't speak good English, it's like eventually you only catch certain things of a song. A really funny thing is like eventually you catch things on the song and then you later look at the lyrics and you're like, oh, he was saying something completely different.
I know, right?
But you know what I mean? It's like, you know, sometimes, you know, most people eventually, you know, they'll catch the chorus or they'll catch a little part of the song and then it's like, you know, you make it yours. You relate it to something in your life that makes sense to you. Absolutely. I'm not dictating like, hey, that's what it means.
One question I really wanted to ask you is it because I've seen you play like at a variety of different types of venues. Like I saw you at the Cannibal Corpse Morbid Angel tour, the Decibel tour earlier this year. You know, the PlayStation Theater, like I think that's like a 2,300 cap venue, super huge. But then, you know, I saw you play at a venue like this or St. Vitus where it's more small, more intimate. Is the vibe of the live presence a little bit different depending on like the type of venue that you're playing in?
It depends more on the crowd than the size of the venue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Depends on the people that you got in front of you. You know, you can be in a gigantic place and everybody's standing there looking at you like, what the fuck you doing? Mm-hmm. Or you can be in an intimate place and everybody's going crazy and enjoying it. Depends on the night, but like, it's not a big difference. Okay. I don't feel like there is a big difference. We recently toured Australia and we played like a variety of, like we played a venue that was like, you know, someone's living room. Mm-hmm. And then the night after we played like, you know, a venue like this one where there was like, you know, 300 people, 400 people. I don't mind. It's always the same shit. Like, you know, we're playing and there's people there listening to it.
There you go. And the final question I wanted to ask you is, this is my favorite question to ask because it's always the hardest question for everybody to answer. Okay. How do you know when a song is done?
Well, how do you know when a song is done? When it sounds good.
How do you know when it sounds good?
Because I know my taste and I know what I like. So then if I like it, that's it. It's done.
All right, fair enough. Very concrete answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, that's when you know, because like you can keep changing a song forever. There is like a million variety. Like, you know, I mean, I can take any of the songs in Blood Offerings and slightly change it, make a chorus happen an extra time, cut a riff shorter, make it longer and have a guitar solo on top of it, and the song will still sound good. It's all about not tripping too much on what you're doing, you know what I mean? And be like, you know, confident enough to know when things are good.
Yeah. And if you overthink something, you could ruin the song.
You ruin your life.
So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's always great running into you guys.
Thank you very much.
I promise to leave you alone now today.
I mean, no, we love you, man. It's like every time we play in New York, you guys gotta know this. We get out of the van, and this guy is standing there. He's already there.
Well, I'm either interviewing you or a band that you're touring with.
And we're like, hey, what's up, man?
It's always great to see you. Is there just, you mentioned you have the new album coming out next year in 2020. Is there just anything else with Necrot you'd like to promote or any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Well, we'll be back we're gonna tour with the record, so we'll probably be back around here in New York or Brooklyn in June, probably May or June.
Awesome.
So I hope to see you guys out to the show.
Yep, I'll be waiting for your van to pull
You're
up.
gonna be right there.
Yep, that's going to be a tradition now. Even if I'm not working the show, I just have to be the first person you see in
Well,
the city.
it'll be nice to see you, man. Thanks for the interview.
Of course. Thank you, man. Everybody, we are here with Luca of Necrot. Be sure to pick up Blood Offerings if you haven't already. New music coming very soon. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time. Let's go watch Exhumed.